We're here with Cobber head coach Terry Horan after a wild Bethel game between two. What people sometimes don't forget to realize is there's two teams that rank in the top 25 that put on a great show for the whole game. It was back and forth. Talk a little bit first about what you guys were able to do successfully against their offense, which is a pretty good rush offense and pass offense. What was working for you guys on defense on Saturday against Bethel?
You know, we had a great game plan. Obviously, Coach Bakken and the whole entire defensive staff did a great job. I mean, we knew Bethel inside and out, and they're a good football team. They're a physical team. We loved how hard our kids played, and we were always around the ball. I mean, we put a lot of pressure on them. We were able to get to Peterson, a few times. He made some great throws. They made some great. I mean, you're right. It was a great game. It really was. Two teams that, were just in a heavyweight slugging match, we had great effort. We had 60 minutes of great effort.
Now, stay on the defensive side, Matt Mankadink sometimes gets passed over. Had a great game, led the team in tackles, had a game high in tackles, and was all over the field. Stopping there, their running back, they brought back Phenom. So, talk a little bit about what Matt did on Saturday.
Well, he's just an incredibly gifted athlete, and very smart. He's an incredible leader. Our inside backers, are making us tick, and those guys have played a lot of football now. Those guys being Mekadick and Vidston, but Mekadick, he just keeps getting better, and his knowledge of our defense, and he studies extremely hard of our opponents, and so he's a student of the game. I mean, he knows these teams inside and out, and I'm just proud of his effort and his leadership, and even after the game in such a tough situation, he got the troops together and just talked about moving on and being ready this week.
Offensively, you guys didn't put up the big numbers that you'd had in the past, but you still were able to move the ball at key points in time. What was working offensively?
Well, their defense, as we knew, was very athletic, and you had Seth Mathis in the middle, who's a very good linebacker. He's all over the field, and we were able to do some things, and we had some things that that we just didn't capitalize on, and had a couple fumbles, unfortunately, that didn't go our way, and when we were in scoring position. So there was a lot of what ifs in that game, boy. I mean, it was a game of inches, but our effort was there, and that's what needs to continue to keep going as we move on.
And finally, let's put this to rest with this one thing that sometimes the fans don't realize. It wasn't just that final play, but a lot of little plays, a lot of things that brought, that came to forth up to that play. Talk about the perfect storm that led up to that final play that kind of was there.
Yeah, that whole last drive, I mean, was incredible, and incredible on both fronts. I mean, and just on how this game finished, but, really also on some of the plays Bethel was making. We have, two opportunities or three opportunities to kind of, get off the field, and it just didn't happen, and you got to give credit to them. They made plays. And then the whole, offensive penalty, which under a minute in a game or a half, you have a 10-second runoff rule, and so they moved that down to 38.3, but then they saw that there was 51 seconds on the clock, so they stopped the game again to put it to 41, and I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster ride, and then to kind of have everything happen the way it happened, our team, I really believe, felt it was an incomplete pass. I mean, film obviously shows that the ball was fumbled and whatnot, and we're on the field, and it's just one of those games. It's hard to stomach, but yet you have to move forward and move to the next week, and I told our players, we can control what we can control. That's our attitude, our effort, and our prep work for each and every game, and that's what we're doing as we move out of this one.
Now let's move forward. Now you play Hamline for homecoming. It's going to be a mirror image. Hamline likes to play the same offense as you guys. what are you going to be? Is it help you guys that your defense gets to see this every day in practice?
The only defense that gets to see it every day in practice is our scouts. So it's tough to defend. I mean, it's just like us running it. No one sees it. And Hamline is a mirror of us. And John Pate, their head coach, spent a lot of time at Georgia Southern with Paul Johnson, who now is at Georgia Tech, who was at Navy. He's had a lot of success, so he's been around some great coaches. Even my good buddy Jeff Munkin, who's at Georgia Southern, has worked with Pate. And so, I mean, defensively, we need to be really assignment honed. I mean, our kids need to be really disciplined. If we're foggy and at any point of that game, we could get hit with a big play. So it's very important that we are focused and we go out and we execute and read our keys and do our thing. And that's they'll make it tough. They're getting better. Their offense, I mean, this is a much better team than they were a year ago. Their offense put up over 400 yards on St. Olaf last week, and St. Olaf sitting at 5-1 in our league, and their only loss was to us. So it's certainly a team that we're not looking past, that's for sure.
And then offensively, the keys to you guys performing on Saturday, one thing we kind of glossed over, Griffin Neal has been done an exceptional job getting better from each week to each week. And that sometimes fans just see, the stat sheet with his, pass attempts, whatever, and it doesn't kind of relate. But talk a little bit of the way he's been able to make the reads and get better at making reads.
Well, you're right. He does get better and better each and every week, and he knows the game of football, and he studies our opponents very hard. I mean, this kid, he can run with the best of them, and he can throw with the best of them. When you think of Concordia, you think option football, but we're two-dimensional. I mean, we're able to do both. People want to start stacking the box on us. We're going to throw the football, and period. I mean, we've got good receivers that can catch the football. We got a nice offensive line, a veteran offensive line. So, I mean, we want to do what we do, but he certainly is the engineer of it and the dealer of the football, as we always say.
Now, homecoming, special time, a great weekend for everyone here at Concordia. Do you guys do anything different before the game? Before, like in preparation, do you bring any alumni in leading up to the homecoming game?
Well, for all our home games, our special tradition obviously is our chapel period, and the Reverend Ernie Mancini, who longtime Concordia employee, campus pastor, alumni office, he's our chaplain for homecoming and will be until we're done. And we have our special Joshua Shield Day, where we started this back in 2004, that every new member of our football program receives their Shield of Faith. And it's pretty special and emotional chapel for all of us. And that is kind of our prayer, if you will, as we go out into battle, and it is a special moment. So we're excited for homecoming. We're excited that after such a tough loss with Bethel, that we have homecoming, because all of our brothers will be coming home and being with us, because they're feeling our pain too, and it's time to get back on the horse and get things done.
Concordia has the Athletic Hall of Fame, and one of your former teammates is going to get inducted in the Hall of Fame, Terry Storm. Any good stories about Terry back in the playing days?
Yeah, a lot of great stories. I don't know if I can share many of them on air, but no, Terry Storm, a good friend and a great teammate, and I was fortunate to get better each and every day because of him, because we went against each other every day, and there was some great competitive rival matches there. He's as competitive as the day is long, and as you know, I'm fairly competitive as well. So we had some great battles, and I would hope that I helped him out too. But we had such great teams to play on, and so excited for him and his family, because it's so well deserved, and great football player.
And then finally, you're going to start a new tradition this week after each game. Talk a little bit about what you're going to do after the post game.
Well, we're excited to bring this on, and it's something that we want our football family, our alums, and our current players to be proud of, our students at Concordia, and all families as well. It's been something that I've been thinking about for several years, and you see a lot at the Division I level, where after a football game, their team will go over to the band and you sing the alma mater. Well, I've had several alums that have contacted me over the years, but just a couple of weeks back we had an alum that contacted me and was wondering if this is something that we could look at doing. I talked to Nat Dickey, our pep band director, and they play, our alma mater after every game anyway. They've done that for the last 2 years. So what's going to go on is this: after our handshake with Hamline, our football team is going to come over to the band, and at that time we'd like our entire student body, we'd like to have our entire Concordia family, alumni, fans, family members to come over with us, and we're going to sing one verse of Soli Deo Gloria, and then one verse of our school song, okay? And it's going to be exciting. So Hymn to Concordia will be the one verse, and then our Cheer for Old Concordia will be the second verse. So and we're excited about that. It should be a good time. Our kids, I told them, I said, my only fear is them knowing all the words. So we're going to have cheat sheets. We're going to have billboards that they're going to be up, and for coaches included, myself included on that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So the first verse of both, and we want everybody to be involved.
Good luck and enjoy homecoming.
Yeah, thank you very much.